So you memorized all 5 different patterns of the pentatonic scale, but do you know them well enough to switch between 2 different keys in a single chord progression? I'm going to show you 3 different ways to practice this and take your fretboard knowledge to the next level. In this first example, our chord progression is G major 7 and E major 7. And we're going to look at each of those chords as their own key center. So over the G major 7, we'll play G major pentatonic, and over the E major 7, we'll play E major pentatonic. Now, to really challenge ourselves and make these ideas blend, we want to put the patterns in the same area. So let's look at both of them on the 7th fret. G major pentatonic right here. And E major pentatonic with this pattern. Now, the first exercise we could do is keep it really simple, really slow, and just play in quarter notes, and the very next note of the next key, we want it to be the perfect transition. So if I'm going up from G major, 1, 2, 3, 4, my next note, which would be the start of the E major pentatonic, would be right here, but I'd be seeing this next scale. So another example would be if my last note in G is right here, and I see the G major pentatonic scale, my next note would be right here, and I see the E major pentatonic scale. So after you try quarter notes, then try and do eighth notes and then triplets, and see how smoothly you could do it, and do that between the whole neck, and just, it's really going to lock down everything and make you really, really understand and start to see where all these notes are. And another pro tip to make you sound really dope and like you really know what you're doing is to start to switch keys before the chord change comes. So if I'm on the G and I'm playing G major pentatonic, the last like 2 beats or so, start playing E major pentatonic. I could just start my lick early and it's going to sound super tight. Check this out. For this next example, our chords are E flat major, F major, and G. So over the first 2 chords, we're going to play in the key of B flat, and over that G, we're going to play in G. And to make it real simple, let's just think about the top 2 strings. So in the key of B flat, I'll be right here. And with G, I could have this pattern. So I just want a simple 2 or 3 note, maybe 4 note motif, just like. And then if I switch to G, right? Real simple like that. So if you're able to do that throughout the different patterns, then you're really starting to get comfortable and you're being musical at the same time. The last thing to do to be able to switch between the keys and make it musical and start to really develop that technique is to be able to throw in licks, and in particular be able to do the licks while switching keys. And a great one is this common pattern that you'll hear a lot in soul music. So if I take that slow, I'm going to be able to switch between keys in the middle of that pattern. Let's go from B flat pentatonic and end on the closest note in our G major scale. So take these ideas, play around with them all over the neck, and if you could do that with every position, then you're even closer to mastering the pentatonic scales and knowing them way more than just memorizing your 5 different patterns. So good luck with that, jam with it. If you want to jam to the backing tracks I used in this video, I have a link in the description below to my Patreon where I have access to all different jam tracks, including these, exclusive lessons, and more. I appreciate the support of everyone who's already on there, and keep jamming. Peace. Stay nasty.